On the afternoon of March 11th, 2011, the nation of Japan faced one of the most devastating natural disasters in modern history. At precisely 2:46 p.m. local time, the Earth beneath the Pacific Ocean, some 43 miles east of the Oshika Peninsula, began to rupture along the Japan Trench. What followed was a magnitude 9.0 earthquake, the most powerful ever recorded in Japan, and the fourth most powerful in the world since modern record-keeping began. The earthquake lasted an agonizing 6 minutes. In Tokyo, nearly 200 miles from the epicenter, skyscrapers swayed violently as workers held onto their desks. Train services across the country ground to an immediate halt. Power lines snapped. In the coastal cities of Sendai, Ishinomaki, and Kesunuma, buildings crumbled, roads buckled, and fires erupted from ruptured gas lines. But this was only the beginning. Japan's early warning systems had performed their function with remarkable efficiency. Seconds after the initial seismic waves were detected, automated alerts were broadcast across television and radio networks. Mobile phones across the nation buzzed with emergency notifications. The Japan Meteorological Agency issued its warnings within minutes, giving coastal residents precious time to seek higher ground. These systems, born from decades of preparation for the inevitable, saved countless lives. But no amount of preparation could fully shield the nation from what was coming. The massive displacement of the seafloor had set something far more terrifying in motion. Across hundreds of miles of ocean, an enormous volume of water was pushed upward and outward, creating tsunami waves that would race across the Pacific at speeds exceeding 500 miles per hour. For those living along Japan's northeastern coast, the earthquake's shaking was their first warning. The second came from the sirens that wailed across coastal towns, urging immediate evacuation to higher ground. Approximately 40 minutes after the earthquake struck, the first tsunami waves reached the Japanese coastline. What emerged from the horizon was not the single towering wall of water, often depicted in disaster films, but rather a series of waves, with the first being followed by increasingly powerful surges. In some locations, the waves reached heights of over 130 feet, driven inland by the sheer volume of displaced ocean water. The tsunami traveled up to 6 miles inland, obliterating everything in its path. The dark wall of water, filled with debris, vehicles, and destroyed structures, surged through the region with unstoppable force. Boats were carried inland and deposited on top of buildings. Cars tumbled through the churning waters like toys. Entire neighborhoods were erased in minutes. Those who had reached higher ground faced the agonizing reality of their communities disappearing beneath the surge, powerless to help those who had not made it to safety in time. The coastal city of Minami Sanriku saw nearly half of its population missing in the immediate aftermath. The city of Rikuzentakata was almost completely destroyed, with its city hall evacuated just moments before the wave struck. In Ishinomaki, the surge trapped hundreds of people on rooftops and in the upper floors of buildings, where they would wait hours or even days for rescue. The Taro seawall, built to protect against tsunamis and standing 33 feet high, was simply overwhelmed and destroyed. As the waters finally began to recede, they revealed a transformed landscape of destruction. Debris covered the earth for miles. But the disaster was far from over. The tsunami had disabled the cooling systems at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, located along the coast. In the days that followed, 3 of the plant's reactors would experience meltdowns, leading to the worst nuclear accident since Chernobyl. Over 150,000 people were evacuated from the surrounding area, many of whom would never return to their homes. The final toll of the disaster was staggering. More than 15,800 people lost their lives, with another 2,600 still listed as missing years later. Over 470,000 people were displaced from their homes. The economic cost exceeded $200 billion, making it the costliest natural disaster in human history. Entire fishing fleets were destroyed. Agricultural land was contaminated by saltwater and radiation, and critical infrastructure was devastated across a region covering thousands of square miles. In the weeks and months that followed, the world witnessed Japan's remarkable resilience. Search and rescue teams, both domestic and international, combed through the debris searching for survivors and recovering the dead. Temporary shelters were established for the hundreds of thousands left homeless. The Japanese self-defense forces mobilized over 100,000 personnel in what became their largest domestic disaster response operation. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami served as a stark reminder of nature's awesome power and humanity's vulnerability in the face of geological forces that have shaped our planet for billions of years. Despite Japan's world-class preparedness, despite its sophisticated early warning systems and robust building codes, the disaster overwhelmed defenses built over generations. The event prompted nations around the world to reassess their own tsunami preparedness and coastal defenses. Today, the Tohoku region continues to rebuild, though some areas remain evacuated due to radiation contamination. Memorials stand where communities once thrived, serving as somber reminders of the lives lost and the power of the earth beneath our feet. The lessons learned from March 11th, 2011 continue to inform disaster preparedness policies worldwide, ensuring that those who perished did not do so in vain.